Welcome to my channel. I have a viewer requested video, so I'm going to try to give you all a few examples here. And this is on dividers or dashboards. I call them dividers because to me, they divide month to month. All right. So basically what I did, and I wanted to explain this in more depth. Here is the divider that's in the planner. I don't like it. Okay. So let's just say that I wanted to change it up to something that I like. And I want to make sure I'm in frame here. So in order to do that, say I have a scrapbook paper book, 12 by 12. Here's just a plain old 12 by 12 sheet of scrapbook paper. So basically what I do, now keep in mind about flipping and stuff, okay? And a lot of your tabs are going to come in order, like they're going to go to the top, here, 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 and here. So, you know, just be aware of that. So like if there is a print on here and not on here, be mindful, okay, of the way you're flipping it. And basically all I did to keep it simple was to literally take a pencil, draw all the way around here so that the front of my pattern was on the front. And if you want, you can even mark a couple of these holes. Cut it out. Here's my cutout paper. So I cut it exactly to the size of this. This is a big planner. So let me get it lined up here. And I like to do just a smidge extra. And I do mean just a smidge. Okay? So that if you go to lay it down, it's a little lopsided, then that's not going to matter. So what I did was we're going to take this, and you can take a glue runner, you can take double-sided tape, you can take a glue pen of some kind, or like Elmer's, you know, glue sticks. You can use that. You can use this double-sided tape you find at Dollar Tree. Just, you know, something that's going to hold it down. Now, I like to make sure that I have glue on these little tabs in between, just because I don't want them flipping up and tearing and all of that stuff. Okay, so I make sure, and I try to get as close to the edge as I can get, okay? I do like to go over this. Again, getting as close to the edge as you can get without getting glue all over your desk like I usually do. And if you get glue all over your desk, it's removable. Okay. And then I like to take a stripe right up the middle. I'm going to turn this, and you can leave it in the planner or take it out of the planner or whatever floats your boat. Okay. I like to use my fingers as stabilizers, specifically my fingernails. And I will hold this so that it doesn't move, looking side to side to try to get it the best matchup possible. Perfect. Now, if you have some area that's over and that bothers you, you know, it's okay to take a little smidge off the edge of your planner page. It's not the end of the world. If it doesn't bother you, then leave it. Like up here, we have just a little tiny bit showing. That's not a big deal, and I'm going to show you why. On this particular sheet, I have vellum, and I'm not gluing this sheet down, so it covers up my imperfection there. So when I go to put this back in my planner, I'm going to go back to November. Okay, there's October. And here is October. And I know it's here. There we go. I use a Happy Planner punch and try to make that work at all times, just because other punches that I have used don't line up good for me. If they line up good for you, I must be doing something wrong. So you don't necessarily have to have a Happy Planner punch. One thing that you can use is the Crocodile, because it'll punch through stuff that's really, really thick. I do not recommend using this punch to go through anything that's super thick, like a laminated sheet that's super thick, okay? Because it will break your punch. It may not break yours, but I don't want to be liable. So that's advice I'm giving you. Don't use that if you don't want it broke. So this is just going to stay like this. And then here's my November. And we're going to flip to December. And I'll show you one more time. And then we have some other ways to do this that I want to share. Let's turn this back up the right way. Now here, I have a white sheet of paper, and the reason I have a white sheet of paper is because this is a very bold print, and I felt like you could see it through this paper. So what I want to do here is, just like before, I want to cover this up, and I hate getting this on my desk because it is hard to get up. But if I had fingernails, it'd be all right. Okay, let's just move on. And if there's any tutorials out there on little things, like if you want to start changing up your planner life so that you can have planner peace and you want to start doing things different, you know, I'm happy to, if I don't know how to do it, I'm happy to research it for you guys and figure out how to do it. And I'd be tickled to do something like that for y'all. So if there's something like, I'd like to do this, you know, but I don't know how, hit me up. I'll figure it out. And if I don't know how, I'll find another planner babe that does. Okay, we're going to finish this off. Come across the bottom, like I said, and try to put, I think I'm going to switch from AdTech to something else, because sometimes the glue goes on here and sometimes it doesn't, and that really bugs me. Because, I mean, this stuff is expensive, and if you're wasting part of it going back up into the roll, that does not make me a happy girl. So, the white paper, we're going to do the same thing. Like I said, I put my fingernails down to hold my thing here, and I try to stabilize it as much as possible. And then I just lay it down. And as you can see, this doesn't cover up your tab, and that's completely fine. Because see how you can see through that? Well, you could see through this when I held it up. So that's why I did it that way. And then we're just going to go over here, and we're going to do exactly the same thing that we did previously. And let's get a little bit of glue on each little tab. Down the center. Take our paper, stabilize with my fingernail so that my bottom sheet does not move. Try to get this lined up. Tore those a little bit. There we go. And there is a new sheet. Now this hangs over a little more than I like. So I am just going to, just because I know over time that'll get ratty looking. So I cut that off just for my own planner piece. And we will go to December. And we probably are right about a few pages here. I got fiddle fingers this morning. That's what I like to call it when I can't I wake up and I still got the shakes. It's like, okay. All right. Here we go. So now if you wanted to, you could laminate this. I have found that with the thickness of this and the sheets, I found that my lamination doesn't seal really good around the edges and I get bubbles. Now, if there's a way to get around that, that's great. I haven't figured that out. I found that the thicker it is to put through the laminator, the worse it is. So I have these that are going to go in my custom planner that I've already cut out of scrapbook paper that I like, and that's in a earlier video that I shared. And I went ahead on one of these, and this is my January one. I had one piece of laminating paper left, and this, I think, pretty sure this is 3 mil, which is sufficient to me. It's completely sufficient. I went ahead and laminated it and cut it and punched it. So it's going to go in this planner right here. Now I have a, oops, I got my little jewels going everywhere. I have a planner cover coming from Steph's Design Space because this one is not adequate. It could still be used as a divider. But here is how it turned out. And I'm okay with it. Like, this sticks out. Now, what I'll have to figure out is once I get Steph's cover, which their covers are made a little bigger, I may have to trim some of this off, but the line of demarcation right here is pretty tight against the paper, so I'm not really too worried about if I need to trim off some extra. If you want to round your edges, you can pick these up anywhere, Shein, Joann's, Michael's, and this has 3 different corner edges on those. So that's how that turned out. And I think what I'm going to do is get me some more laminating paper. And so when I get ready to finish this planner off, probably this week, I will take all of these and laminate them. And then that way, the great thing about that is you can even use these as dashboards, because that's why, I guess why people say dashboard or dividers. Because if you want to, you can just put your little sticky notes on here, write down the little things that you have to remember throughout the week, transfer them to your weekly or your monthly sheets, and you're good to go. You're not messing up the planner just scribbling in there. You can just notate your stuff on sticky notes, okay? So that's how my laminating turned out. And I didn't think it turned out too bad. And quite frankly, the fact that this is not double-sided scrapbook paper was okay with me, because you can also use these as dry erase if you want to, which I'm not going to do. I'm going to use this just as like a message board. And I'll probably end up putting something on the backs of all these, like this week's goals or something like that, or whatever. So that's just, you know, an idea. So that's how my laminated sheet, this is just one single sheet of scrapbook paper. And this scrapbook paper, this particular sheet, is thin. Now there are a couple of sheets in here, like this one is a little bit thicker, but that won't impede any issue that I have, because none of them are that thick that it's going to make a difference. So I think it's the perfect thickness, frankly, for dividers. So I hope that that cleared up some of the mystery on how to make these yourself. Again, this is not going to be the planner cover that stays on here because it is not cut correctly. It's too small, because once I put my dividers in here, it's not going to be the right thickness to where it comes out this way. The planner covers are supposed to be like, I don't know, 9.5 by 12 or something like that. So hence the reason this didn't print correctly. So another thing that you can also do, if you don't feel like, okay, I can't cut all those, or I don't have anything to go by, okay? Say that all you have is a piece of scrapbook paper and that's it. This isn't on here. Let's just pretend that's not on there. So you just want to do that. You just want to punch this, put this in your planner, and it doesn't have any kind of a dashboard. I picked these up literally at the Dollar Tree. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them anywhere. You can get them different colors. You can get them in metallics. And these are just your dividers. So you can just literally put that on there like that. Now, keep in mind, it's clear. So that when you do put it on there, it's not going to be ugly. You're still going to see that on there. And these are pretty thick, even from the Dollar Tree. These are pretty thick at the top. So, and if you wanted them to be thicker, you could always take and cut this in half and put this over top of this to keep it from get dirty. So, just saying that would work. I mean, let's just see. Because I don't feel like you need all of that. So let's just cut it in half. Let's move this out of the way. Let me see. I wish I had something dark. Here we go. So y'all can see better what I'm doing. So if you want, you could take this piece right here and we can lay it over top of that. Now you have it to where once you write something on here, and I'm not worried about it because, you know, I bought these for demonstration purposes. So you could write, and there you go. It'll even let you bring it back up. Let's just say you wanted to write on here, budget. You want to cover it up. Take your trimmer, which is basically go along the edge here. Nip off that little corner. Do the same over here. And you have just protected your ink on here. Then you can flip it over. If you have any extra edging, just go along the side, trim that off. And you now have a tab. Now, if this doesn't stick down, or if you find that they're not sticky enough, the best way to do that, get your glue runner, some extra glue, double stick tape, whatever, and put it down on here, and you're good to go. If you don't, you know, you can even put this over top of this if you wanted to. You see what I'm saying? And cover that up to where you don't see that lip at all. Say that you just want new tabs. Put your tab on there, then cut your paper. Booyah. There you go. All right, guys, those are my tips and tricks for dividers for your planner. I hope that you found it helpful. I hope that some of the little things that I tried to teach you here helped you out and helped you be able to figure out how to better customize your planner to be all about you. So guys, if you like this video and you found it helpful, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button and the bell so that you don't miss any of my tutorials or videos. And thank you so much for watching. I truly do appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, bye.